Admiral, we've received a message.
Their message is not a plea for mercy. It is a warning.
The Galactic Council's top-secret file on Earth had just been unlocked. Inside, a chilling warning. Do not approach. Do not engage. You have been warned. But High Commander Zar, leader of the mighty Zarkonian Empire, just laughed. He waved a dismissive hand at Lieutenant Kale, who stood nervously by the main screen. For 3 long months, we'd been hiding behind Earth's moon, watching. This small, blue-green planet, so full of primitive life, was supposed to be an easy target. Another jewel for our growing empire. Sir, the humans have sent us a direct message, Kale reported, his voice tight. They know we're here. Zar's 6 eyes snapped open, a flicker of surprise crossing his face. Our cloaking technology was supposed to be perfect, undetectable by species like them. He leaned forward, his massive frame shifting in the command chair. Impossible. Their technology is too basic. What did they say? Kale's voice dropped to a whisper. They called us cowards, sir. They said, and I quote, to the alien vessels currently hiding behind Earth's moon like cowards instead of introducing themselves properly. The entire bridge went silent. Captain Valora dropped the nutrient bar she was eating. Even Sergeant Jax, usually calm as a stone, gasped. Play it, Zar ordered, his voice suddenly low and dangerous. The main screen flickered to life. A human appeared, pink-skinned, with bright, challenging eyes. A female. She wore a simple blue uniform, but her presence was commanding. To the alien vessels monitoring our communications, she began, her voice clear and strong. This is Admiral Tara Vance of the United Earth Defense Force. We've known about your presence for some time. Your cloaking tech is impressive, but it creates a unique energy signature our new detectors can find. My stomach felt like it was twisting. New detectors? That was impossible. We understand you're probably deciding if Earth is a threat or an opportunity, she continued. Let me save you some time. We are both. Her eyes narrowed slightly. Humanity invites peaceful contact. However, should your intentions be hostile, know this. Attacking Earth would be a very bad idea. Captain Valora scoffed. Is that a threat, sir? From them? The human on screen kept talking, completely calm. We've studied your ship's weapons, which are powerful, but your shields have weaknesses we can use. This isn't a threat, simply information we think you should consider. High Commander Zar's jaw muscles tightened in irritation. In transmission. Show me their planet's defenses. The screen changed, showing Earth's small network of satellites and orbital platforms. It was pathetic. They're bluffing, Zar declared, standing and pacing the bridge. Their best weapons are old nuclear missiles. Primitive. Messy. Our shields wouldn't even notice them. But sir, Kale cut in, how did they detect us? And how do they know about our shield weaknesses? Zar waved away his concern. Simple guessing. Or maybe they found some abandoned tech from another species. The galaxy is full of careless travelers. Should we report this to the Galactic Council? Jax asked. And say what? Zar sneered. That a pre-FTL species threatened us? The Council would laugh us out of our jobs. He turned to Commander Rex, our tactical officer, a huge, 6-limbed being with a glowing purple cybernetic eye. Rex, analysis of their military strength. Rex tapped quickly at his console. About 150 nations, sir, with different armies. Total troops, around 65 million. Nuclear weapons, about 13,000. Chemical and biological agents. All useless against us. Their fastest aircraft are primitive jets, Mach 3.5. Our fighters are 50 times faster. Zar nodded, satisfied. Exactly as expected. Send this message, Admiral Vance, your bravery is noted, but pointless. The Zarkonian Empire comes not to conquer, but to liberate. Your planet has resources we need. Surrender them, and your people can live under our kind rule. Kale transmitted the message. The response was instant. Admiral Vance's face reappeared, but now she was smiling. Something about that smile made my skin crawl. High Commander Zar of the Zarkonian Empire, she said. Yes, we know your name and rank. Your offer is rejected. You have exactly 24 Earth hours to leave our solar system. After that, we can't guarantee your safety. The transmission ended. High Commander Zar burst out laughing, and soon, the entire bridge crew joined him. The sound echoed off the metal walls of our command ship. Can't guarantee our safety. Zar mimicked, his voice high-pitched and mocking. The nerve. The delusion. Perhaps they're insane as a species, Valora suggested, still chuckling. No, Zar replied, returning to his chair. This is just a mind game. They hope to look stronger than they are. It's pathetic, really. What are your orders, sir? Kel asked. Zar thought for a moment. The Zirconian Empire had conquered 37 planets across 12 star systems. Not once had we met real resistance. Humans would be no different. Prepare the invasion fleet. We'll target their biggest cities all at once. Few casualties at first. We need workers for the mines. Once they realize resistance is hopeless, we'll set up our own government. And if they resist? Rex asked, his cybernetic eye pulsing faster. Zar stared at the blue-green planet on our view screen. So small. So unimportant in the vastness of space. Then, we will show them why the Zirconian Empire has never lost a war. As our ships moved out from behind the moon, showing our full fleet of 300 warships, we received one final message from Earth. It was only text, and it confused me greatly. It simply said, "You have sealed your fate." My officers looked at me for an answer. I just shrugged. A last desperate attempt to scare us. Ignore it. Start the invasion. Little did I know, those words would haunt me for the rest of my life. The first wave of our invasion force, 50 dropships each carrying 200 of our best soldiers, plunged through Earth's atmosphere. They looked like falling stars, a dazzling and terrifying sight for the humans below. Our sensors quickly picked up their old-fashioned planes trying to stop us. It was a pointless effort. Lieutenant Kale, usually so calm, reported, "High Commander, the humans are broadcasting on all channels. Not to us, but to their own people. It's a planet-wide message. Put it on screen," Zar ordered, curious to hear their last words before they gave up. The main view screen changed. A different human appeared. A male, with dark skin and a bald head. His voice filled the bridge. "People of Earth, this is Secretary General Omar Thorne. The moment we've been preparing for has arrived. Protocol Guardian is now active. Good luck to us all, and remember your training." Thorne out. I frowned. Protocol Guardian? Training? My eyes went to Commander Rex. "Any info on this, Rex?" Rex shook his massive head. "Nothing in our records, High Commander. Probably just trying to keep morale up." A pointless act. Then, Captain Valora muttered, just as an alarm blared. Energy spike detected on the planet's surface. Kale's voice was sharp with alarm. Before I could even react, the screen showed a blinding flash of golden light from Earth. When the light faded, 3 of our dropships were simply gone. Gone. Report. Zar roared, one of his primary tendrils coiling in shock. "Unknown energy weapons, sir." Rex's 6 limbs flew across his console. "Nothing like their known tech. It looks like a directed energy weapon. Impossible," I whispered. Such weapons needed too much power for a species like them. Yet, the missing ships were real. As we watched, stunned, more golden flashes shot up from Earth. 5 more dropships disappeared, one after another. "Break formation," Zar shouted. "All ships scatter." Now, it was too late. The humans had expected it. The golden beams shot up from many places, hitting our ships with frightening accuracy. "High Commander," Valora cried, her voice trembling. "They're targeting our shield weak points, just like the female said they would." Another message came through. Admiral Vance appeared again, her face calm. "This is your only warning, Commander Zar. Retreat now or face total destruction." Zar slammed his fist on his chair. "Never. All ships, full attack. Launch all fighters. Hit their weapon sights." As our remaining drop ships, now a small, damaged part of our original force, headed down to Earth, a cold, growing fear settled in my gut. This was not how invasions were supposed to go. "High Commander," Kale said softly beside me. What if they're not bluffing?" I had no answer for him, only the bitter, strange taste of doubt. It was a feeling I had never known before this moment. And so began the worst military disaster in the history of the Zirconian Empire. The second wave of our invasion was meant to be crushing, unstoppable. The kind of power display that makes weaker species fall to their knees and beg for mercy. Instead, it was a disaster of epic size, and I saw every miserable second of it. 30% of our dropships destroyed. "High Commander," Rex reported, his cybernetic eye flickering, a sign of extreme stress for his species. Ground forces reporting heavy fighting in all landing zones. I walked back and forth on the bridge, my claws clicking on the metal floor. How are they doing this? Their weapons were like sticks compared to ours. "Not anymore," Captain Valora said grimly. She pulled up live video from our ground troops. The images made my main heart stop for a second. Humans, wearing some kind of sleek, armored suits unlike any military gear we had seen, were fighting our shock troopers. Their weapons, now glowing with a dangerous inner light, cut through Zarkonian battle armor like paper. Their movements were fast, perfectly coordinated, almost too much for humans. "Zoom in on that soldier," I ordered, pointing to one human who was easily destroying a squad of our best forces. The image zoomed in, showing something that sent a cold shiver down my spine. The human's eyes glowed with an unnatural blue light. Mechanical parts were visible at the armor's joints, and what looked like brain interfaces were connected directly to the human's skull. "They're enhanced," Kale whispered. "Cybernetically modified." "That's impossible. Our data said they had no such tech. Their rules and religious groups strictly forbid such changes." I snapped, though I sounded less sure than before. Lieutenant Commander Drax, our communications officer, looked up from his station, his antennae twitching wildly. "Hi, Commander. We're picking up their messages. They're talking about something called Project Apex. It started 10 years ago, when they first found signs of alien observation. 10 years. While we watched their silly shows and studied their simple weapons, they were getting ready. Getting ready for us." The truth hit me like a huge hammer. "Show me everything we have on their science breakthroughs from the last 10 years. I roared. "Focus on military tech, cybernetics, and energy weapons." As Drax quickly gathered the data, another message came through. Not Admiral Vance this time, but a human male with sharp green eyes and a scar running across his face. "This is General Marcus, Earth Unified Forces. Your troops are being wiped out. Your ships are falling from our skies. Your invasion is a failure. We gave you a chance to leave peacefully. That chance is gone. Cut transmission." I snarled, my patience gone. "Arrogant ape. Rex, status of our main fleet." Rex hesitated, then swallowed hard. 7 destroyers lost, High Commander. The humans have used some kind of swarm tech. Tiny drones that stick to our ships, get past shields, and drill into vital systems. I felt dizzy. This couldn't be happening. Not to the mighty Zarkonian Empire. Not to me. "Launch our orbital bombardment platforms." I decided, my voice raw. "If they want to fight dirty, we'll show them real power. Target their biggest cities, military bases, and power grids. Let's see how their fancy armor works without electricity." "High Commander," Kale shouted, his voice full of panic. "The Galactic Council rules strictly forbid bombing pre-FTL civilizations. It's seen as—" "I know what it's seen as," I roared, completely losing control. "But these humans have broken the natural order. They should be cowering, begging for their lives. Instead, they're making fools of us. Launch the platforms." Now, no one dared to argue. The command was given. Our 12 orbital bombardment platforms, each able to turn a continent to ash, moved into position around Earth. "Platforms ready, High Commander," Rex announced, his voice strained. "Waiting for final approval." I took a deep breath. This would end the human resistance for good. It would also likely end my career when the Council found out. But disgrace was better than defeat. "Fire," I commanded. 12 powerful energy beams shot towards Earth. The bridge crew held their breath, waiting for the huge destruction that should follow. It never came. Instead, something impossible happened. As the beams neared Earth's atmosphere, they seemed to hit an invisible wall. Then, unbelievably, they bounced back, heading straight for our own platforms. "Break away," I screamed, but it was too late. The platforms, along with the closest ships, were wiped out by their own weapons. The bridge went silent. On the tactical screen, more than a quarter of our fleet had simply vanished. They have shield technology," Captain Valora finally said, her voice barely a whisper. "Planetary shield technology. That was supposed to be impossible for any civilization below level 7. Humans were barely level 3 by our standards." Another message. This time, a human female with bright red hair and cold, calculating eyes. "This is Dr. Lena Soul, Chief Scientist of Earth Defense. Your bombing attempt was predicted and stopped. Your shield technology was copied from a scout ship we caught 15 years ago. We've made some improvements, as you can see." My jaw dropped. "We never sent a scout ship. We only found this planet 3 years ago." Dr. Soul smiled thinly. "Not your empire, High Commander. There are other visitors to our small part of the galaxy. Less arrogant ones. Some even willing to trade technology for a safe place." The meaning of her words hit me hard. Humans had been dealing with alien species and getting their tech long before we even arrived. They had been preparing specifically for an attack like ours. "High Commander," Kale urged, his voice filled with urgency, "our ground forces are being overrun. They're asking for permission to pull out surviving troops." I nodded, feeling numb. This wasn't an invasion anymore. It was quickly turning into a desperate escape. All ships, I roared, my voice hoarse. Get your ground forces and prepare to leave immediately. Battle Group Alpha will provide cover fire. As our ship scrambled to pick up what was left of our damaged invasion force, another message flashed on the main screen. This one came from a fortified human military bunker, showing General Marcus standing in front of a huge holographic map of our rapidly shrinking fleet. Leaving so soon, High Commander? Marcus's green eyes held a chilling amusement. But we've prepared such a warm welcome for you. Perhaps you'd like to see what else we've learned from our galactic friends. The screen split, showing different views of Earth's surface. Huge hangar doors, hidden until now, began to open in places our scouts had thought were just simple military bases or even civilian buildings. From these gaping openings, sleek, dangerous ships appeared, human ships. Their designs mixed parts from at least 3 different alien civilizations I knew, and some I didn't. No, I whispered, my voice ragged. No, no, no. The human ships rose quickly, attacking our retreating forces. They were smaller than our warships, but incredibly fast and easy to maneuver. What they lacked in raw firepower, they made up for with deadly accuracy, hitting our weakest points with perfect aim. High Commander, Drax cried, panic clear in his voice. We've lost contact with Battle Group Alpha. Battle Groups Beta and Gamma are reporting heavy losses. I collapsed into my command chair, completely overwhelmed by how badly we had failed. Order all remaining ships to head for the jump point. We are retreating. And the ground forces we haven't recovered? Captain Valora asked quietly, her voice barely a whisper above the chaos. I closed all 6 of my eyes. They are lost. As our damaged fleet limped away from Earth, losing power and precious ships, one final message cut through the empty space. Admiral Vance appeared again. Her eyes showed neither triumph nor anger, just a cold, professional look. High Commander Zar, you were warned. Your empire now has a choice. Consider this a lesson and never come back. Or come back with a bigger fleet and learn an even harder truth about humanity. The message paused, then her lips curved into that same unsettling, knowing smile from before. And remember our first message. You have sealed your fate. We weren't talking about your fate, High Commander. We were talking about ours. The message ended, leaving us to think about our shameful defeat. In just under 1 Earth day, the mighty Zarkonian Empire had lost almost half its invasion fleet to a species we had thought was barely smarter than apes, playing with technology they couldn't possibly understand. As we limped towards the nearest jump point, one burning question filled the silence of the bridge. What would I tell the Emperor? The grand hall of the Zarkonian Imperial Palace was designed to scare. Tall pillars of shining black stone reached 30 meters to a domed ceiling, painted with glorious scenes of our greatest victories. The mosaic floor, showing defeated species bowing before Zarkonian power, seemed to mock me with every step I took towards the throne. Emperor Vexor, may his rule last forever, watched me approach. His huge body made the fancy throne look small, and 4 of his 8 eyes followed my movement while the other 4 stayed fixed on a holographic screen showing the broken remains of our proud invasion fleet. I dropped to one knee before him, head bowed. Protocol demanded I stay silent until he spoke. The silence stretched, thick and heavy. High Commander Zar, the Emperor finally spoke, his deep voice rumbling through the huge hall, explained to me how the mighty Zarkonian Empire lost half its invasion fleet to a species that hasn't even set up a proper space station. I swallowed hard, the metallic taste back in my mouth. Your Radiants, the humans, they were not what they seemed. Our intelligence was completely wrong. They had technology far beyond what we thought. So I have heard. The Emperor flicked a clawed finger, and battle footage played on huge screens around the hall. Planetary shields, energy weapons, cybernetically enhanced soldiers. Quite a collection of surprises from a supposedly level 3 species. They had help, I guess? Other alien civilizations gave them. I know what they had, the Emperor roared, standing from his throne. The nobles and officials in the hall flinched. What I want to know, High Commander, is how you failed to find this out before sending my ships to be destroyed. There was no good answer. Our scouting had been thorough, or so we thought. We'd watched their communications, studied their military, analyzed their tech. Somehow, they had completely hidden their true strength from us. Your Radiance, I began, choosing my words carefully. They tricked us on purpose. They pretended to be technologically limited while secretly preparing for alien contact. They knew we were watching. The Emperor sat back on his throne, his main breathing sac puffing in and out quickly. a clear sign he was extremely annoyed. And now, what do your experts believe about these humans? I motioned to Science Minister Drass, who stepped forward nervously. The minister's thin body trembled slightly as he turned on his data tablet. Your Radiance, our analysis of the battle data suggests the humans have reached technological integration levels beyond anything we have ever seen. They don't just invent, they adapt. They take different technologies and combine them in ways their original creators never imagined. Explain, the Emperor demanded, his voice tight. Minister Drass showed a hologram of one of the captured human ships. This ship, your Radiance, has parts we recognize from Proxima technology, design ideas from Venturi, and even some Zarkonian engineering principles. But the way they've put these parts together creates something totally new. Their shield frequencies change randomly, making them almost impossible to target effectively. Their weapon systems draw power from what seems to be a modified Proxima fusion array, but with efficiency levels even the Proxima themselves haven't achieved. You're saying they improve alien technology? The Emperor sounded disbelieving. Not just improve, your Radiance. They transform it. Their way of thinking isn't limited by old rules. Where we see established ways of doing things, they see possibilities we never even thought of. The Emperor turned back to me. And what about their aggression? Are they likely to chase us? To attack Zarkonian worlds in revenge? This question had haunted me since our retreat. I had studied the humans deeply on our way home, looking through their historical records that they freely shared on their information networks. What I found was deeply troubling. Humans are full of contradictions, your Radiance, I stated. Their history is full of constant wars among themselves, yet they show remarkable control when they win. They can be brutal in battle, but surprisingly generous in victory. My guess is they won't chase us beyond their solar system right away, but they will prepare for our return. They will expect us to attack again, and with more force. And should we? The Emperor asked, leaning forward, his voice low and dangerous. Should we gather the full might of the Empire and crush these rebellious apes? The court went completely silent, waiting for my answer. My career, perhaps my life, depended on what I said next. I could recommend a huge counterattack, what any Zarkonian commander would be expected to say, or I could speak the truth as I now understood it. I chose the truth. No, your Radiance, I stated. Gasps filled the hall. War Minister Kryll pushed his way forward, his ceremonial armor clanking loudly. This is crazy. Commander Zar, explain yourself before I have you executed for being a coward. I stood tall, meeting the Emperor's gaze directly. The humans showed abilities far beyond what we expected. Yet, I believe they showed restraint. They could have chased our retreating fleet. They could have destroyed us completely. They chose not to. I activated my own data tablet, showing the final message from Admiral Vance. Their warning was clear. They see this as a lesson. If we come back with more force, they will respond in kind. Based on how fast their technology is growing, by the time we could prepare another invasion, they will be even stronger. Science Minister Drass nodded, his thin body trembling less now. Commander Zar's assessment matches our predictions, your Radiance. Human technological growth is explosive, not steady. In the time it would take us to get another invasion fleet ready, they could advance decades beyond their current abilities. The Emperor growled, a low, dangerous sound. You're saying we should just accept this defeat? That we let a level 3 civilization embarrass the Zarkonian Empire without consequences? I suggest, your Radiance, I said carefully, that we rethink how we classify humanity. They are clearly not a level 3 civilization, no matter how they look. I believe we should try to establish diplomatic contact instead. Learn from them, just as they have learned from others. The court exploded in outrage. This is unbearable. War Minister Kryll roared. Talking peace with a species that has defeated us? The shame would be too much to bear. More unbearable than total destruction? I countered, my voice cutting through the noise. The humans have shown they can take any technology they find and make it better. Given time, they might develop abilities that could threaten not just our invasion fleet, but the Empire itself. The Emperor raised a hand, silencing the uproar. Commander Zar, you were defeated by these humans. Some might question if your judgment is clouded by this experience. I bowed my head. A fair concern, your Radiance. That is why I brought this. I nodded to Kale, who had come with me from the ship. He stepped forward and turned on a small projector. A three-dimensional star map appeared, with a blinking red dot marking Earth's position. During our retreat, we detected unusual energy signatures from 16 different star systems, all within 200 light-years of Earth. Our analysis suggests these are human outposts or colonies established in secret. The Emperor leaned forward, staring at the map. Impossible. Our scouts would have reported such colonies, unless they were deliberately avoiding detection. Your Radiance, I explained, the humans knew about other alien species 15 years before we arrived. They have had time to expand carefully, choosing their locations. These energy signatures match the unique fusion technology they showed during our battle. Science Minister Drass examined the data, his eyes widening. The analysis appears correct, Your Radiance. If humans have indeed set up this mini outpost secretly, their resources and strategic position are far stronger than we realized. The Emperor sat back, his expression impossible to read. For several long moments, the hall was silent, except for the soft hum of the holographic projectors. Finally, he spoke. Commander Zar, your recommendation is noted. War Minister KRYLL, you will prepare defensive plans for all Zarkonian worlds within 300 light-years of Earth. Science Minister Drass, send stealth probes to confirm these alleged human outposts. He rose from his throne, towering over us all. I will think about our next move carefully. The Zarkonian Empire has never backed down from a fight in 900 years of glorious expansion. But we have never faced an enemy quite like these humans. As the court session ended and officials left, the Emperor motioned for me to approach his throne privately. Commander, he said, his voice low, speak freely now that the court sycophants can't hear. Do these humans truly threaten our empire? I chose my words carefully. Your Radiance, I believe they could. Not through aggression, but through innovation. Humans adapt and evolve faster than any species we have met. That makes them unpredictable, and unpredictability is often more dangerous than a known strength. The Emperor nodded slowly. Then perhaps it is time for the Zarkonian Empire to adapt as well. Return to your ship, Commander. I may have new orders for you soon. As I left the Grand Hall, I couldn't help but wonder what the humans were doing now. Were they preparing for our return? Expanding their mysterious outposts? Developing even more terrifying weapons? Whatever they were doing, one thing was certain. The galaxy had become a much more dangerous place since humanity arrived on the cosmic stage. 6 planetary rotations after my meeting with the Emperor, I received new orders. Return to the Sol system, not with an invasion fleet, but with a single, diplomatic vessel. I was to make contact with the humans, understand their intentions, and most humiliatingly, offer to pay for damages caused during our unfortunate misunderstanding. The Emperor wasn't seeking peace out of new respect for humanity. Our stealth probes had confirmed my report. Humans had indeed set up outposts throughout nearby star systems, some dangerously close to Zarkonian territory. More alarmingly, the probes found evidence of massive construction projects in several locations, the kind that suggested humanity was building something huge, something that made Imperial High Command very, very nervous. You look like someone poured sour sludge into your drink, Kale observed as we boarded the diplomatic ship, a sleek vessel named Peaceful Overture. The name was so bitterly ironic I almost asked for a transfer. I'm about to face the species that gave us the worst military defeat in Imperial history, I grumbled. Excuse me if I'm not thrilled. Kale shrugged his foreshoulders, a gesture he'd picked up from studying human behaviors. Look on the bright side. If they decide to vaporize us, at least it will be quick. Your optimism is overwhelming, I sighed. Our journey to Earth took 16 days at standard diplomatic speed, deliberately slower than military ships to show we weren't a threat. It gave me plenty of time to review everything we knew about humans and plan my approach. My career, possibly the Empire's future, depended on this mission's success. As we entered the Sol system, we broadcast our diplomatic credentials on all frequencies. The response was immediate. Zarkonian Vessel Peaceful Overture, this is Earth's Central Command. Stay on your current path and prepare to be escorted to Orbital Station Delta. Any change will be seen as an act of hostility. Transmission ends. No pleasantries. No acknowledgement of our diplomatic status. Just cold, precise instructions. I couldn't blame them. 2 human ships appeared, flanking us. Compact, predatory vessels. Unlike the ones we'd seen during the battle, these looked like brand new designs, with no signs of alien influence. Pure human innovation. That was worrying. Analysis. I asked our science officer, a brilliant Zarkonian named LYX, who had replaced Rex after his nervous breakdown following our defeat. LYX studied her readings with 3 eyes while keeping the other 3 on the human ships. Fascinating construction. No external weapons ports I can find, yet their energy readings suggest strong offensive power. They are either very confident or very foolish. After what they did to our invasion fleet, I'm betting on confident, Kale muttered. The human ships guided us to a massive orbital station, another new structure since our last visit. The station's design was elegant yet practical, with many docking arms extending from a central hub. Dozens of ships of various designs moved around it in careful, coordinated patterns. That wasn't here before, I said unnecessarily. They have been busy, Kale agreed. Building something this big in orbit usually takes years. They did it in months. After docking, we were met by a group of humans in formal clothes. No military uniforms, I noted with relief. Leading them was a tall male with silver hair and sharp blue eyes. "Hi, Commander Zar," he said, extending his hand in their usual greeting. "Ambassador Theronvale. Welcome to Orbital Station Delta." I took his hand awkwardly, my 3-fingered grasp covering his 5-fingered one. "Ambassador, thank you for receiving us. Follow me. Secretary General Thorne is waiting." We were led through busy corridors. Humans of various types worked alongside several alien species I recognized, and a few I didn't. They moved with purpose, only glancing at us. This wasn't the welcome I expected for representatives of the feared Zirconian Empire. The central conference room offered a spectacular view of Earth below. Secretary General Omar Thorne, the same man who had announced Protocol Guardian during our invasion, stood gazing at his home world. He turned as we entered, his expression neutral. "Hi, Commander Zar. When we heard the Zirconians were sending a diplomatic mission, I insisted you be part of it. A fitting symmetry, wouldn't you agree?" I bowed formally. "Secretary General, I bring greetings from Emperor Vexer and an offer of peaceful relations between our civilizations." Secretary General Thorne gestured to the conference table. "Please, sit. We have much to discuss." As we settled into chairs specially designed to fit Zirconian bodies, another small detail that impressed me, holographic displays lit up around the table. They showed images of our invasion fleet, then shifted to pictures of the aftermath, destroyed Zirconian ships, captured soldiers, recovered technology. "Let's be direct," Secretary General Thorne said. 6 years ago, you came to conquer us. Today, you come seeking peace. What changed? Pride demanded I defend the Empire's honor, but my orders were clear, honesty above all. The humans had proven they could detect lies. You changed our view of humanity, I admitted. Your technological abilities. Your strategic outposts in nearby star systems. Your ability to adapt and improve alien technology. These things made us rethink our approach. Secretary General Thorne exchanged glances with Admiral Vance, who had entered quietly during my explanation. She looked exactly as she had in her messages. Calm, calculating, dangerous. "Interesting," Thorne said. "You were monitoring our expansion, as any wise civilization would," I replied. "Just as you were monitoring our ships long before we knew you could detect us." A faint smile crossed Thorne's face. "Fair point. And what does the mighty Zirconian Empire propose now?" I activated my data tablet, showing the Emperor's offer, a non-aggression pact, recognized borders, limited technological exchange, and payment for damages caused during our misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? Admiral Vance's voice was sharp as a razor. "Is that what you call an unprovoked invasion?" I met her gaze steadily. "What would you call your deliberate technological deception? Your hidden outposts? Your alliances with other species who gave you advanced technology?" "Preparing for survival," she replied without hesitation. "We detected your scout drones 3 years before your invasion fleet arrived. We knew what the Zirconian Empire does to primitive worlds. You are not the first expansionist species we have encountered, High Commander. That was new to me. We know you had contact with other civilizations, but the Proxima tried to conquer us 80 years ago," Secretary General Thorne interrupted. "The Venturi attempted to colonize 50 years before that. Each time, humanity adapted and overcame. Your invasion was merely the latest test of our readiness." The implications stunned me. Humanity had been fighting off alien invaders for over a century, each encounter making them stronger, more adaptable, more dangerous, all while pretending to be a technologically limited species. "I was not aware," I admitted, clearly. "Clearly," Admiral Vance said dryly. "Now, about these reparations." Our discussion continued for hours, going into the details of the proposed peace agreement. Throughout, I was struck by the human approach. They were firm but not vengeful, demanding but not unreasonable. They wanted recognition, respect, and guarantees, not control or humiliation. As negotiations ended for the day, Ambassador Vale offered to show me something, a gesture of openness, he called it. We were taken to an observation deck overlooking a huge hangar. Below us, dozens of ships were being built, vessels larger and more advanced than anything we'd seen during the invasion. Our first true deep space fleet, Vale explained, capable of reaching any system within 1,000 light-years. Scheduled to be finished next month. The message was clear. Humanity was expanding, with or without our permission. You have achieved in months what takes most species decades, I observed. Vale nodded. Necessity is the mother of invention, High Commander. When your survival depends on adapting, you either adapt quickly or perish. And the outpost we detected? Mostly research stations. Some mining operations there. A few colonies. We are a curious species, High Commander Zar. We want to explore, to learn, to grow. But we have also learned to be careful. As we returned to the conference room, I received an urgent message from our ship. A moment later, alarms blared throughout the station. What's happening? I demanded as humans rushed to their stations around us. Admiral Vance checked a display on her wrist. Long-range sensors have detected a Proxima battle fleet entering the system. Approaching fast. Not responding to hails. My heart's pounded. The Proxima here? Apparently, they decided to try again, Secretary General Thorne said grimly. Ambassador Vale, escort our guests to safety. Admiral Vance, begin defense protocol Theta. As Vale led us to a secure observation room, we watched in awe as Earth's defenses activated. The orbital station changed, sections shifting to reveal weapon placements previously hidden. From Earth's surface, hundreds of ships rose to join those already in orbit, forming a defensive sphere around the planet. The Proxima fleet, 50 warships in a crescent shape, dropped out of faster-than-light travel near Mars orbit. Their design was unique, organic-looking ships with many protruding weapon ports, known throughout the galaxy for their brutal efficiency. This is bad, Kale whispered beside me. The Proxima don't negotiate. They destroy. I nodded grimly. Even the Zarkonian Empire treated Proxima space with careful respect. On the main view screen, Admiral Vance appeared on the bridge of her command ship. Proxima vessels, this is Admiral Tara Vance of Earth Defense Force. You are entering protected space. Turn back immediately, or face the consequences. The Proxima response was a barrage of energy weapons, shooting towards Earth's defensive sphere. What followed was the most one-sided battle I had ever seen. Earth's ships moved with perfect coordination, their formation shifting like water around the Proxima attack. The planetary shield flickered briefly as it absorbed and redirected the enemy fire. Then, humanity's counterattack began. Ships I hadn't seen before, sleek, dangerous vessels, came out of hidden positions around Mars and its moons. They hit the Proxima fleet from behind, while Earth's main forces attacked from the front, trapping the Proxima in a deadly crossfire. The Proxima tried to regroup, but human ships were too fast, too easy to maneuver. Those ships, I said, pointing to the Mars-based attackers. They're using modified Zarkonian engine technology. Vale nodded. Salvaged from your destroyed ships. We made some improvements. Within 20 minutes, the Proxima fleet was in ruins. No human ships had been destroyed, though several showed damage. The few remaining Proxima vessels tried to flee, but concentrated fire from Earth's defense grid ensured none escaped. When we returned to the conference room, Secretary General Thorne was waiting. He looked tired, but satisfied. Now you understand, he said simply. And I did. The humans hadn't just been preparing for our return. They'd been preparing for anyone who might threaten them. The outposts, the rapid technological advancement, the hidden fleets, all part of a species-wide resolve to never again be at the mercy of alien invaders. The Proxima will send more ships when they learn of this defeat, I warned. Let them, Admiral Vance said, entering the room. Each attack makes us stronger.